All right. How are you feeling today?
Hey guys, I'm Rishi Desai. I'm a pediatric infectious disease doctor at Stanford. I'm the chief medical officer at Osmosis. And I want to talk today a little bit about attendings and three of my tips on how to impress your attendings. As perspective, obviously I went through medical school residency and I've been a fellow and I'm now an attending. I've been attending for many, many years, about a decade. So when I was going through, I always thought of impressing my attendings as a bit of a likability game, and the game was how quick I could get my attending to like me. Because obviously I have just a few weeks and I wanted to get it done. And so I thought, okay, I have to be really gregarious and social and all this kind of stuff. And and my reasons were I wanted to get into AOA. I'll be honest, I thought that would be a boost for my residency application. If you don't know what AOA is, it's Alpha Omega Alpha. And it's a society that a lot of medical schools in the US subscribe to, and they get 10% of their students into that society. So I thought I want to be part of AOA. And actually in reviewing for this video, I was actually doing a little bit of reading, and it turns out that AOA has changed over the years in terms of like who goes into it. And about 13%, about a decade ago, of AOA members would enter the lifestyle-friendly choices for residency. And now that's gone up to about 33%. So it seems like there's some sort of correlation between being in the AOA and pursuing one of those lifestyle residencies. And I think that's because people basically see it as one more thing to boost their residency application. So that's kind of what my logic was back then. Today, my view is quite different, in the sense of I see being an effective member of the team is something everyone should aspire to because it helps take care of patients. And so I want all of my medical students to kind of want to be more effective on the team. And that's what my three tips are about. So let's just get started. First tip, here we go. First tip is empathize and observe. So, a lot of stuff's going on in the hospital. You're a medical student. It's really, really important to empathize with not just your residents and attendings, but empathize with the other clinical staff. What is your physical therapist or nurse or pharmacist thinking? What are they kind of focused on? And mostly empathize with your patient. I mean, frankly, on your team, a medical student is the closest to being part of that world and thinking about kind of what is the patient thinking about. So that's my first point is empathize. Think about what are their conversations about? What are people talking about? What are they worried about? A classic example is you work all day doing a discharge, and then you walk in to tell a patient they're going home that day, and you never mention to them that they're going home. So they haven't arranged a ride. They don't necessarily know where they're going to spend that night. If they're staying with friends and family, they're not sure, whose bed they're crashing on. And they don't have kind of anything in place to go home. So, and maybe the other members of the medical team haven't thought about it either. So making sure you communicate and empathize is really, really important. It kind of helps make everything kind of go smoother when you can kind of see things from different perspectives. So that's the first kind of key point. And it kind of lays the foundation for tip number two. So tip number two, hustle. Like just hustling in everything you can do. So obviously you want to make sure that you are prompt, you're on time, you're not late to things. But when you get to places, are you an effective helper? Do you need to be coached or constantly told, like, oh, do this or do that? Or do you just kind of observe, empathize, and just naturally kind of slide in and start helping out right away? I mean, think of a dinner party where some of the guests are just naturally kind of cleaning up at the end of the dinner party. If you're hosting, that's awesome, right? That's just really, really helpful. And so be that kind of a person on the wards. When you're there, just kind of notice problems, notice things that are going on, notice conversations, and then just kind of quietly help. You don't have to make yourself really known about it, or people will notice themselves. And it's always better if people just kind of notice you rather than you kind of flaunting all the wonderful things that you're doing. I think the thing that people freak out about is, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't always have the answer for everything. What if I get pimped? And that's completely okay. Almost every attending will tell you this. They really don't care if people know things or don't know things. The whole point of medical school and residency is to learn. So it's okay not to know things, but just what's not okay is if you don't hustle and look things up or say, hey, I'll get back to you with that, or come back and be honest about the things that you've done or haven't done, in your time on the wards. So tip number three is making sure that you speak up. And this is the hardest thing, like making sure that when you do speak, so you've already observed and empathized, you've already kind of hustled and maybe done some background reading or work, but when you're about to speak up, make sure what you're saying is relevant. Like the last thing people want to do is kind of waste their time. And so when a medical student of mine or a resident of mine speaks up, I really think, okay, I hope what you're about to say is really relevant. It's not off point. You're not talking about a case that we're not talking about right now, or some issue that's tangential to the kind of core issue. So making sure that what you say and how you say it is really, really specific. So for example, let's say I'm presenting a case. You could say, well, I've got this 6-year-old girl. She's got conjunctivitis. She's got red kind of chapped lips. A really bright red tongue. She's got a big lymph node down here. She's got a bit of a rash and kind of swollen fingers. What is that case about? Versus, this case presentation dragging on, where you talk about their gastric reflux and twisted ankle from a year ago, and asthma, things that are not pertinent to exactly why they're there that day. So, be careful even when you do speak up about making sure you speak in a way that's parsimonious, to the point, and relevant to the conversation, so that people know, okay, this person kind of knows what the point is here. So those kinds of ideas are really, really critical. And I'll leave with kind of another story, which is also, don't be afraid to speak up. I'll share a real story for myself. I was taking care of a patient. They had just gotten wheeled back from surgery, and they were on monitors, and a code gets called because they're flatlining, and it looks really terrible. And everyone's kind of rushing around. And I noticed, as a medical student, I noticed that their monitors were not plugged in. Like, literally, the plug was just not in. It was out. And I didn't say anything because I thought, oh, I'm just a med student. I don't want to. And maybe like 2 minutes later, one of the nurses said, hey, guys, it's not a code. The monitor's just not plugged in. We're not getting a good read here. So they plugged it in, and everything was fine. It was totally benign. But I could have said that, and I didn't. And I didn't because I was scared, right? So it's also important, especially in critical situations, to speak up, because you might think, oh, I'm just a med student. What can I possibly offer, especially in this high stakes situation of a code? But if you notice something, say something. And so, I'll leave you with that. Again, the 3 tips: make sure that you empathize, that you observe what's going on. Number 2, make sure you hustle. And then number 3, make sure that you speak up, and don't be afraid to speak up, and speak up in a way that's relevant to the team. So again, I want to see your comments about what your tips are for impressing your attending, or more specifically, how to be relevant and effective on a team. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Start your free trial today at osmosis.org.